The narcissist didn't know you'd walk away without hesitation, breaking their ego. When you first entered the world of a narcissist, you likely felt the magnetic pull of their charm. Their confidence, wit, and seemingly perfect persona drew you in, making it hard to imagine ever wanting to leave. But, as with many relationships with narcissists, things began to change. Over time, their manipulations, selfish behaviors, and emotional abuse started to erode your sense of self. And then something powerful happened. You realized your worth and your own value, and you decided to walk away. The narcissist, who thought you were their property, didn't see this coming. What does this sudden decision to break free mean for both you and the narcissist? What happens to the narcissist when you leave without hesitation, breaking their ego in the process? In this video, we're going to explore the deep psychological impact of walking away from a narcissist, and why this action is one of the most powerful things you can do to reclaim your life and sense of self. Before we dive into the complexities of this powerful dynamic, I'd like to take a moment to ask you to like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who might be struggling with narcissistic relationships. If you've ever felt trapped, confused, or mistreated by someone who only seems to care about their own reflection, this is the place for you. The process of breaking free from a narcissist is often as empowering as it is painful. Together, we'll unravel how and why your decision to leave without hesitation shakes their very core. Narcissists thrive on control and admiration, drawing their sense of identity from the external validation they receive from others. Their fragile self-image depends on constant praise and attention, and when that validation is threatened or withdrawn, it feels like an attack on their very existence. This need for admiration is what fuels their behavior and their inflated sense of self-worth. They may appear confident and powerful, but underneath that facade, they are highly sensitive to any perceived slight or challenge to their superiority. When you decide to walk away from them, without hesitation and with the unwavering certainty that you are worth far more than the mistreatment they subjected you to, it has a profound and lasting impact. It is more than just a simple rejection of their behavior. It is a rejection of their entire constructed identity. You are challenging everything they hold dear, and that is terrifying to them. To truly understand the depth of their reaction, we need to explore the inner workings of the narcissist's mind and the fragile nature of their ego. Despite their outward appearance of arrogance and confidence, a narcissist's ego is incredibly fragile. They often build their sense of self-worth on an inflated belief in their own superiority, using the admiration and attention they receive from others to prop up their fragile sense of self. This is a facade, a carefully crafted image designed to protect them from feelings of inadequacy and insecurity. The narcissist's entire identity is tied to being seen as special, important, and unique. When you walk away from them, you do more than just deny them the validation they crave. You expose the truth that they are not as invincible, powerful, or invulnerable as they want to project. You strip away the illusion of their superiority, and in doing so, you force them to confront their deep fear of being ordinary or unworthy. Their need for control over you and the relationship is abruptly shattered, and the consequences of this can be devastating for them. But what does it truly feel like to break free from the narcissist's grasp? For many, it's an experience marked by a mixture of emotions, ranging from relief to sorrow. The act of walking away often brings with it a sense of liberation, but it can also be accompanied by feelings of guilt, confusion, and grief. You might mourn the loss of a relationship you once believed could be salvaged, or the loss of the person you thought they could be before their true nature became clear. The narcissist, desperate to regain control, will likely try to gaslight you into believing that you are making a mistake, that they can change, or that the problem lies with you rather than with their toxic behavior. They will try to make you doubt your decision and question your judgment, using manipulation and emotional appeals to reel you back in. However, deep down, you know that walking away is not a rash decision. It is a necessary step for your own survival and well-being. This is not about them. It is about you, your mental health, and your ability to reclaim your life from their influence. Though walking away is undeniably challenging, the liberation that comes with it is almost indescribable. It may take time for the full extent of this freedom to sink in, but as you begin to distance yourself from the narcissist's grasp, you will start to feel the weight lifting off your shoulders. The constant emotional turmoil, the confusion, and the manipulation will begin to fade, replaced by a sense of clarity and self-empowerment. You will realize that by breaking free, you have not only rejected their toxic behavior, but also reclaimed your sense of self. No longer bound by their need for control, you can finally begin to focus on healing and rediscovering who you are outside of their influence. The journey may be difficult, but it is one that leads to freedom, self-respect, and the possibility of building healthier, more fulfilling relationships in the future. When you leave a narcissist without hesitation, the immediate effects are striking and can manifest in several profound ways. Let's break down these initial responses and explore how they unfold. First, there is the shock. Narcissists have an inflated sense of self-importance, and part of this delusion involves the belief that no one would ever leave them. After all, they have spent years, even decades, manipulating and controlling those around them, carefully crafting an image of being irreplaceable. They know how to make others feel small, insignificant, and overly dependent on them, making it difficult for most people to break free. So, when you take the bold step of walking away without hesitation, they are often left stunned and confused. They simply cannot fathom why someone they've so thoroughly controlled would choose to leave. This is the moment when their true nature is exposed, and the carefully constructed mask they've worn for so long slips. At this point, you might notice that their behavior shifts dramatically. They may attempt to guilt-trip you, trying to make you feel responsible for their pain, or even use overt aggression in an attempt to scare you into coming back. In more extreme cases, they might threaten to destroy your reputation, paint you as the villain, or resort to emotional blackmail in a desperate attempt to manipulate you back into their grasp. These are all classic narcissistic tactics designed to destabilize you emotionally, to make you doubt your decision and second-guess your ability to break free. However, it's crucial to recognize that these efforts are merely tools in their arsenal to regain control. It's not about love or care for you. It's about their own need to retain power over your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Next, there's the panic. Despite their grandiose sense of self, narcissists are deeply insecure individuals. They might project an air of confidence, but inside, they fear abandonment and rejection more than anything. When you leave them without hesitation, it threatens their carefully constructed reality and triggers a profound emotional crisis. In their minds, you are supposed to remain loyal and dependent on them, and when you walk away, it feels like a betrayal they can't process. This rejection cuts through their sense of control and sends them into a state of panic. The narcissist's immediate response to this panic is often an attempt to reel you back in. You may suddenly start receiving a barrage of phone calls, text messages, or other forms of communication as they desperately try to reinitiate contact. They may play on your emotions, claiming they're a changed person, or offer empty apologies, hoping you'll fall for their act and come back to them. They might even beg for your forgiveness or promise that things will be different. However, it's important to remember that underneath all these gestures lies a more sinister agenda. Their desperation is not motivated by genuine remorse or a desire to change. It's driven by their insatiable need for validation. They cannot bear the thought of losing the supply of admiration, attention, and control that you once provided. Your absence leaves a hole in their self-image, and they will do anything to fill it, even if it means pretending to be someone they're not for a brief moment. Ultimately, this isn't about you. It's about their need to restore their sense of self-worth by reclaiming you as their source of ego validation. Finally, there's the loss of control. Narcissists thrive on control. Their entire sense of identity is built around manipulating and influencing those around them. Whether it's controlling your thoughts, your actions, or your emotions, the narcissist feels a constant need to assert dominance over you. When you leave without warning, they are faced with the harsh reality that they no longer have control over you. This loss is like a blow to their very existence, an assault on their inflated sense of superiority and power. To cope with this, the narcissist may react with extreme measures, such as engaging in a smear campaign. They may start spreading lies and rumors about you to anyone who will listen, trying to turn your friends, family, and even strangers against you. Their goal is to create doubt in the minds of those around you, convincing them that you are the problem, not them. They might go so far as to manipulate others into feeling pity for them, all in an effort to undermine your credibility and paint themselves as the innocent victim. But here's the painful truth. No matter how much they try to control the narrative or manipulate the people around them, they can never fully erase the reality of what they are. When they can no longer control you, they'll do whatever it takes to regain that power, even if it means resorting to deceit, manipulation, and character assassination. But in the end, they are only exposing themselves for who they truly are, a person incapable of handling rejection and deeply afraid of losing the control that fuels their fragile ego. So, what happens to the narcissist when you walk away? Their world is shaken, and they can't comprehend why you're not begging to return to their toxic grasp. They may even try to find a new source of validation, another victim, to replace you, but deep down, they know the loss of you is significant. No matter how hard they try to act as if they don't care, there's a crack in their facade. The truth is, your absence forces them to confront the fragility of their ego, a challenge they aren't equipped to handle. However, while the narcissist may feel the sting of your departure, it's important to remember that they are unlikely to change. Narcissistic personalities are often resistant to self-reflection and growth. In the short term, they may attempt to win you back with promises of change or manipulation tactics, but in the long run, they will continue to seek out validation from others. The narcissist's behavior is rooted in deep insecurity, and walking away from them doesn't fix this. It only forces them to confront their own demons, which they're not willing to do. If you've ever been involved with a narcissist, you know the toll it can take on your self-esteem, mental health, and well-being. Walking away from such a relationship is not only an act of self-preservation, but also a demonstration of your strength. The narcissist, no matter how much they try to convince you otherwise, will never be the same without you. But remember, you are worth more than their abuse, their manipulation, and their hollow promises. Your decision to walk away without hesitation is a reflection of your own resilience and your commitment to protecting yourself. Thank you for joining me in today's discussion. If you found this content helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with others who may be struggling with similar situations. Don't let the narcissist's tactics manipulate you into doubting yourself. You are worthy of love, respect, and peace. Remember, once you walk away from a narcissist, you are reclaiming your life, and there's nothing more powerful than that. Narcissist, and how they transfer negative energy. This is deep. Have you ever felt drained after spending time with someone who seemed charming and engaging at first, only to leave you feeling emotionally exhausted and confused? This phenomenon is often attributed to narcissists, individuals who can transfer negative energy in ways that are subtle yet profoundly impactful. Narcissists have a unique ability to manipulate their surroundings, drawing people in with their charisma, while simultaneously siphoning off emotional energy from those around them. This article will delve into the intricate dynamics of narcissism, exploring how these individuals transfer negative energy and the psychological mechanisms behind their behavior. By the end, you will gain a deeper understanding of the emotional toll narcissists can take on their victims and how to protect yourself from their toxic influence. Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you're here today as we dive into this fascinating and often troubling topic. If you're new to the channel, please take a moment to subscribe, like this video, and share it with anyone who might benefit from this information. Understanding the dynamics of narcissistic relationships is crucial for safeguarding your emotional health and navigating these complex interactions more effectively. So, let's get started. Narcissists are often characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance, a constant need for admiration, and a profound lack of empathy for others. They can be incredibly charming and persuasive, drawing people in with their charisma and confidence. However, beneath this alluring exterior lies a fragile self-esteem that is heavily reliant on external validation. When they feel threatened or insecure, their behavior can shift dramatically, leading to the transfer of negative energy to those around them. This transfer can manifest in various ways, including emotional manipulation, gaslighting, and emotional blackmail, leaving their victims feeling confused, anxious, and emotionally drained. One of the most striking aspects of a narcissist's ability to transfer negative energy is their use of emotional manipulation. They often employ tactics that make their victims question their own perceptions and feelings. For instance, if you express a concern about their behavior, they might respond with, "You're just being too sensitive," or "I can't believe you would think that about me." This manipulation not only shifts the focus away from their actions, but also makes you doubt your perceptions and feelings. Over time, this can lead to a significant erosion of your self-esteem and confidence, leaving you feeling lost and powerless. Gaslighting is a particularly insidious form of emotional manipulation that narcissists often employ. It involves making you question your reality, memories, and perceptions. For example, if you confront a narcissist about a hurtful comment they made, they might insist that you are misremembering the situation or that you are overreacting. This constant undermining of your reality can lead to a state of confusion and self-doubt, making it increasingly difficult for you to trust your instincts or feelings. You may find yourself second-guessing your thoughts and emotions, which can be incredibly damaging to your mental health. Another common tactic used by narcissists to transfer negative energy is emotional blackmail. This involves using threats, guilt, or manipulation to control your behavior and keep you in line. For instance, a narcissist might say things like, "If you really loved me, you would do this for me," or "I can't believe you would abandon me when I need you the most." This kind of emotional coercion can create a sense of obligation and guilt, making it difficult for you to assert your own needs and desires. The result is a toxic dynamic where you feel responsible for their emotional well-being, further draining your energy and sense of self. The emotional toll that narcissists inflict on their victims can be profound and long-lasting. Victims of narcissistic abuse often experience anxiety, depression, and a diminished sense of self-worth. The pain inflicted by narcissists is not just a fleeting experience, it can leave deep scars that take years to heal. This emotional turmoil can be seen as a reflection of the demons within narcissists, as their inability to connect with others on a genuine level leads to a cycle of pain and suffering. Research has shown that narcissists often struggle with deep-seated insecurities and a fragile self-esteem. Despite their outward confidence, they are often plagued by feelings of inadequacy and fear of rejection. This internal conflict can drive them to seek validation and admiration from others, often at the expense of those around them. The more they manipulate and control others, the more they reinforce their own sense of superiority, creating a vicious cycle that perpetuates their destructive behavior. One of the most troubling aspects of narcissism is the lack of empathy that these individuals often exhibit. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, and it is a crucial component of healthy relationships. However, narcissists often struggle to empathize with those around them, viewing relationships as transactional rather than genuine connections. Your feelings and needs are secondary to their own, and they may disregard or even exploit your vulnerabilities. This emotional neglect can be incredibly damaging, leaving you feeling isolated, unappreciated, and emotionally depleted. It's like living in a world where your voice is never heard, your feelings never acknowledged. So, how do narcissists manage to disguise their true nature? The answer lies in their ability to manipulate perceptions and create a facade that masks their inner demons. They often present themselves as charming, successful, and confident individuals, drawing people in with their charisma and charm. This initial allure can be intoxicating, making it difficult to see the warning signs until it's too late. Narcissists are skilled at reading people and understanding what they want, allowing them to tailor their behavior to fit the expectations of those around them. This ability to adapt and manipulate makes it challenging to recognize their true intentions. As you become more entangled in a relationship with a narcissist, the initial charm begins to fade, revealing the darker aspects of their personality. They may become increasingly critical, belittling your accomplishments and undermining your self-esteem. This shift can be jarring and disorienting, leaving you feeling confused and unsure of yourself. It's like stepping from a sun-drenched meadow into a dark and foreboding forest, where the path ahead is unclear and fraught with danger. The emotional toll that narcissists inflict on their victims is profound and can lead to long-lasting psychological effects. Victims of narcissistic abuse often experience anxiety, depression, and a diminished sense of self-worth. The pain inflicted by narcissists is not just a fleeting experience, it can leave deep scars that take years to heal. This emotional turmoil can be seen as a reflection of the demons within narcissists, as their inability to connect with others on a genuine level leads to a cycle of pain and suffering. Research has shown that narcissists often struggle with deep-seated insecurities and a fragile self-esteem. Despite their outward confidence, they are often plagued by feelings of inadequacy and fear of rejection. This internal conflict can drive them to seek validation and admiration from others, often at the expense of those around them. The more they manipulate and control others, the more they reinforce their own sense of superiority, creating a vicious cycle that perpetuates their destructive behavior. One of the most troubling aspects of narcissism is the lack of empathy that these individuals often exhibit. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, and it is a crucial component of healthy relationships. However, narcissists often struggle to empathize with those around them, viewing relationships as transactional rather than genuine connections. Your feelings and needs are secondary to their own, and they may disregard or even exploit your vulnerabilities. This emotional neglect can be incredibly damaging, leaving you feeling isolated, unappreciated, and emotionally depleted. It's like living in a world where your voice is never heard, your feelings never acknowledged. So, what can you do if you find yourself entangled in a relationship with a narcissist? The first step is to recognize the signs of narcissistic behavior. Pay attention to how someone makes you feel. Do you constantly feel anxious, insecure, or criticized in their presence? Do they consistently disregard your feelings or needs? Do they manipulate situations to their advantage? If so, it's time to reevaluate the relationship. Trust your intuition. It's often the first sign that something is amiss. Building healthy boundaries is crucial for protecting yourself from narcissistic abuse. This means setting limits on what you're willing to tolerate and communicating those limits clearly and assertively. It's about saying no when you need to, prioritizing your own needs, and refusing to be manipulated or controlled. It's about reclaiming your power and taking control of your life. Seeking support from friends, family, or a therapist is also essential. Talking about your experiences can help you process your emotions and gain a clearer perspective on the situation. A therapist can provide guidance and support as you navigate the complexities of narcissistic abuse and work towards healing. Remember, you are not alone in this struggle. Healing from narcissistic abuse takes time and effort. It involves rebuilding your self-esteem, re-establishing your sense of self, and learning to trust your instincts. It's a journey of self-discovery and empowerment, a process of reclaiming your life and creating a future free from manipulation and control. It's about finding your own inner strength and resilience. In conclusion, narcissists have a unique ability to transfer negative energy, leaving their victims feeling drained and emotionally depleted. Their manipulative behaviors, lack of empathy, and emotional abuse can leave deep scars that take time to heal. However, by recognizing the signs of narcissistic behavior, setting healthy boundaries, and seeking support, you can protect yourself from their toxic influence and reclaim your life. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of narcissism and its impact on our lives. If you found this discussion enlightening, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing this content. Your support helps us continue to delve into these important topics, fostering a deeper understanding of human behavior and the complexities of relationships. Remember, you deserve to be treated with kindness, respect, and compassion. Never settle for less. The narcissist